You are listening to Slash, a podcast where I dive into the brains of people with passions and interests outside of their full-time job. My name is Keith Ogden, and I'm not really known for anything, but I will be sitting down with those who serve as an inspiration to continue doing what truly makes them happy. You will hear how they got started, what keeps them going, and any lessons they've learned along the way. Welcome and enjoy. Welcome. We are back at the Slash Pod here. Slash the podcast. I've got a very special guest. One of my good friends. Grew up with him.
What else?
Man, does a lot of things.
What else?
Got a couple slashes. And I'm excited for you guys to meet him. Born and raised in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I've got Rex the artist here, Jorrel Nugent, a.k.a. Rex the artist.
What'd you say? Hey, what's up, man?
You guys are going to get to know him a lot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do this interview. Should be a fun one, interesting, and completely authentic for sure. Welcome, and thank you for bringing me in.
Thank you for having me.
Even though I basically live here, so it's all good.
Right. We're going to play 2K after this.
In the studio, got all the equipment here, so
yeah.
I'm excited to get started. So let's get rid of all the fluff. Let's get right to it. Let people know what your slash is.
So my career, I'm an engineer in my actual career, but my slash is that I'm an artist, hence the name Rex the Artist. You know, I produce my music along with, the help of some of my homies, but I learned to make my own beats. I write my own music, you know what I mean? So it's just another part of my art. I'm not just a rapper. I'm not just a producer. I'm an artist. So just art is my slash.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's begin to unravel this. Let's start with your actual full-time job. So you said you're an engineer.
Yeah.
Go on to what that means. What exactly do you do for your full-time job?
Full-time, so I'm an imaging engineer. And what that basically is that any type of equipment that the hospitals use or healthcare provider uses to see inside the body, that's the equipment I fix. So it's X-ray, MRI, CT, mammography, save the boobies. Any type of imaging equipment, that's what I get my hands on to fix. So I'm like field service, so my region is in Philly and Jersey. I get a call, say, hey, this is not working on this particular machine. I drive there, diagnose what the problem is, fix it there on site. If I need a part, order a part, So that's basically what I do.
That sounds pretty hard though. So how did you come about doing that at first? Is that something you studied at school?
Yeah, studied like engineering at school. Just focus in electronics. When you focus your foundations in electronics, every job, any engineering job, they're like, that's like a basic qualification or preferred, because if you can understand electronics, you can understand any type of other piece of equipment, because everything is digital now. Everything has a circuit board that's telling that chip or telling that electronic component what to do in order for you to see something on the screen. Yeah. So if you have that basic understanding, it's not too hard. And
by my understanding, I think a lot of people, when they hear the word engineer, that automatically thinks like, you're making a pretty good amount of money if you're an engineer. Would you say that's true? And why would you need a slash at that point?
See, I'll say this: any type of position that you're in, you don't necessarily always start out on top. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I can even go into if corporate color. You're not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So, you gotta start somewhere though. But it's like, I didn't start my slash just to have something to do. I started my slash basically when I was born. Like when I started just becoming in that adolescence, when I became him, I always enjoyed other things. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not just an engineer. It's not I wear different hats. So I've always just been in just that field of art, because everything I do is just an extension of myself or certain things that I'm affiliated with. And it's like, the career was there, but you get to a point where you're like, all right, this is what I started out with. Now it's time to take that leap of faith. Yeah. Take that leap of faith in yourself, in your art. Because you realize it's more, yes, it has more self-gratification when it comes from yourself.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You're not doing it for somebody else, clocking in and out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just having to ask when you can take a break, having to ask when you can go have PTO.
I get it. Everyone wants to be their own boss now.
Exactly. That's the way to go. That's the way
and that's what it should be. I mean, you're not really living if you're not living for yourself, you know?
Right.
So that kind of, you said in that answer, that brings me to my next question is, like, when exactly did you get started? How did you find this passion for music and stuff like that? How did you get into it? And when did you get into it?
I mean, it started when I was like a twinkle in my father's eye. No, but it's so as far as music, the music / I'll say is around right about like when I got around college time, around the college years, and I started to teach myself how to play guitar, and I was like, I need some help, so I had linked up with this dude. Shout out, Perrin Davis. I linked up with him, and I was going there for guitar lessons. And then, as you get over what they say, the higher up you go, the more devils you're going to face. So, as I got older, I just started to go through more. Or God decided to expose me to more because he knew who I wanted to be. Come on, where's my organ at? Playing with me. But, so I was going there for guitar lessons or whatever. And then I started to write down how I felt because just always kept stuff in. I think it's just, as a man, you just want to hold on to that.
I get it.
Yeah, and especially
I'm guilty of that.
Right. Especially in our community, it's not looked at as the thing to do, is just to express yourself.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So started writing it down, and I took it to Perrin. I was like, hey man, I wrote this. What do you think? And Perrin's from the South, so, white dude from the South, like, you wrote this? You're like, this is fucking good, man. I was like, man, stop playing with me, dog. You just saying that, whatever. Like, nah, this is good. He was like, I'll sign you to my label, boy. I was like, oh, all right. That was my guy. Shout out to Perrin, and he was really intrigued that I wrote it. I wouldn't say surprised because he saw it in me. Mm-hmm. But when I brought it to him, I think he was just so happy that I saw it in myself.
Yeah.
And then after, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I just kept writing down how I felt. And then one day, Perrin was telling me about this dude that is also coming to him for some training or whatever. Shout out to man DJ Ignaro, a.k.a. Saucy Steve. He was like, yeah, I got this other guy coming here that's going to school for audio engineering. Yeah. So then, Perrin had put me and him together, and then me and Steve, it was just like that. Yeah. It's funny, I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, yeah, man, we rarely, if not, we never really disagree on a lot of stuff. And that was just back then when we started. I think because me and him were so open to each other's ideas, we're able to give each other, all right, a chance. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I want to make it sound like this. All right, let's hear it. Yeah. And if it sounds better the other way, you know what I'm saying? We're just like, we're receptive to how each other's creativity stems off of one another. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's leads to my first mixtape coming out, Baja Music. Shout out Baja, all of those of you who downloaded, who streamed, the Lord will bless you.
So how did you, I know you said, what's his name, Perrin Davis. So how did you get in contact with him? Because you said you met him and he gave you lessons and stuff, but how did that contact work out? Did you know him already?
No, I didn't. Just the universe kind of aligned. My dad had found, because my little brother was going to drum lessons. Okay. So, and I was like, yeah, I'll start playing with my dad. I think, that's what it was. My dad noticed that I started playing guitar. And he was like, oh, Perrin do that. Do you know Perrin's a musician? I was like, oh, really? And then when I was like ready to take playing guitar serious, I was like, all right, yeah, I can't. You know what I mean? I reached the point of like, dang, I need some help. Okay. And he was like, oh, go to Perrin. I was like, all right, go to Perrin. Cool. So then it was just that bond was already there because my little brother was going there to learn how to play drums. Cool. Yeah. All
right, so you mentioned the mixtape.
Yeah, Baja Music. Again, those of you who downloaded the first Baja Music, Orange Room production, we thank you.
What year was that? What year would you come out with that?
Was it 2015? 2014, was it?
I don't know. You made it.
Right. Yeah, but you know I would call you like, yo, dog, I'm in the studios getting real.
Snap, man.
Right, Snaps like, yeah, we here. Good.
I feel like it was around 2015.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think you came out with that. Was I in Virginia when you came out with that?
Yes.
I think I was.
Yes.
So which would have been around... Yeah, that would have been around that time.
Yeah, that's around that time.
All right. So, So how did you get that started, and where did the inspiration come from that? So I know you were making music and like learn how to play the guitar, but then when did that turn into, all right, now I'm gonna start making songs? Because you said you were playing the guitar, learn how to do that, but that's not actually songwriting. So what got you into like actually making the songs? And how did that turn into the first mixtape?
So again, I was going through, as we all go through a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to allow what I'm going through to put any more stress on me. I'm going to release that energy into something positive. I'm going to release the pain into positivity. Mm-hmm. I got to start writing. I got to start writing this out. Start writing. And then it was like, yo, some people couldn't need to hear this. Mm-hmm. You know, and even before like the music thing, I was always just involved in dealing with people, whether it was giving advice or being in some type of leadership role. I was always encouraging someone to do better. Because that's one thing I take pride in. I love seeing people do great. Yeah. That's one thing nobody can ever call me a hater. I guess. You know me. Mm-hmm. I love seeing people do good.
I would like to think I'm the same way. I don't think
right.
I feel like I don't hate on people.
You don't. What's the point?
If I see you doing great, like,
I'm right. If I see you doing great, I'm like, yo, shout out to you. I'm telling people about you. Mm-hmm. I want to be a part of that. And people like get so caught up in that, like not trying to support somebody else because you think they're greater. Like what? All good things come from above. Yeah. You know what I mean? So instead of focusing on that person and just hating on them, speak to them like, hey, clearly you're doing something right and God is pleased with you, so he's blessing you. How can I, you know what I mean? How can I establish that type of relationship? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, please, dude. Nobody can ever call me no hater.
Do you think that's a problem in, like, I guess the industry now? Yeah. You feel like there's just there's not enough support? Especially in the Philadelphia area. Because I feel like in the Philadelphia area, I think we've had kind of this discussion before where in the Philadelphia area it's hard. You just don't see enough support of each other. Because I think before you mentioned it, and this is off camera, obviously, where we were talking about, like, look at these other cities. You see, like, Atlanta, all of Atlanta, like, artists and stuff support each other. And then you see, like, New York, they're all together. And maybe New York was against each other at one point. But like, Philadelphia, you don't necessarily see it. But you also don't hear of too many coming out of Philadelphia, unless I'm wrong about that. We obviously know like the big ones.
Right. No, there's a lot of people that come out of Philly, but I don't know. It just seems like the culture of Philly has affected the people in a negative way. Okay,
and what do you think? Explain that.
So like it's not as welcoming. Like City of Brotherly Love, aka City of Brotherly Shove. Like it's we're the face of love, but we don't show it as much as we should, if that's what we're called to be, which is the city of love. Like when I was away for work one weekend, I was down south. Where was it? Nashville. Shout out to Nashville. Nash Vegas. Shout out to y'all. But I was in Nashville for a business trip, and then I was in my hotel. I was chilling. I was like, all right, I watched everything on Netflix. I'm kind of bored. So like, well, went on Instagram, started scrolling. I was like, how can I do something productive? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That'll benefit me at the same time. So I just typed in open mic. And then sure enough, there was an open mic night like 5 minutes away from the hotel I was staying at. I was like, all right, look, go in. Go in. So then I drove there and I went there. As soon as I walked in the door, hey, what's up? And there was like a hip hop open mic night, which I didn't know. I thought it was just a regular open. It was a hip hop, specific for that type of culture. Went there, it was all love. Like, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? Hey, what's up? Yeah. I'm just winning. I'm like, hey, yo, what's up? How y'all doing? I do music, yada yada. Every person I spoke to, we exchanged numbers and Instagrams. Yeah. Like it wasn't like I had to ask. It was like that was the love. Yeah. That was what was expected. And I was down there, and I was like, all right, look, I ain't from here, but if y'all don't like it, that's all right. I don't live here. So they were laughing, you know. You're right. They was reciting. I was real like, look, I'm still going back to my house. Look, I ain't going. I'm still doing my thing. So I went there, and look. I was like, forget that. What was it? I'm the best ever. I was down there. I did a song that I had been working on. I didn't have any instrumentals. I'm just down there. It was just so platonic. Everybody was just up there. You know, it was natural. It was organic, and it was all love. It was like, hey, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a pure but some people was looking like, what is this boy doing on stage? Like some other people was like, hey, like, all right, I see. You know what I mean? It's just the reaction. It was more so love than hate. Yeah, and that energy is prevalent in Philly, but it's not in the abundance of it that it should be. As the other places that don't even claim that they're the city of love. Okay. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic in Philly. All right. In my opinion.
Okay. So, we didn't really skip over it, but, like, we kind of got off of there. But let's... Back to the mixtape. What was the first song that you made?
First song I made was called Why. Yeah. Yeah, first song I made was called Why. Shout out to Queen Clee. Shout out to Clee was on the hook and the vocals. It's my sis. But, yeah, it was called Why. Oh, my gosh, man. That was like... Sorry. No, but that song was really just like, you know what? I'm going to just really say how I felt before, or people that have confided in me before felt. It was basically just that feeling of disappointment. Yeah. That feeling of when you want something so bad and then you realize you don't get it. Because that happens. And I tried to portray that in me looking at a woman. So people can, you know what I mean? I was trying to mask something to give the audience to reflect on. But I'm like, hey, I'm really talking about, this is universal. This is just not for a guy and a girl. This is for guys, girls, anybody that's ever felt something that they were denied that they thought they should have gotten. Yeah. That's why I started up with that song, like, uniqueness and innovation. I'm contemplating if she digging me, double tap on the dimples, and I still can't get no chemistry. Uniqueness and innovation. I'm coming up with different ways to be successful. Uniqueness and innovation. I'm contemplating if she digging me. I'm coming up with all these different ways to invest in myself. Have a nice resume, have a nice cover letter, send it to this company, and if they can at least give me a response from the email. Yeah. And then you find out, we're going to go internally. Mm-hmm. Or you know what I'm saying? Or you are you know what I'm saying? It's just that feeling of disappointment. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew that the relationship aspect would really grab people's attention. And then the hook is why? Because that's what you ask yourself. Everybody does that. If you fail, you're like, dang, why did that happen? Yeah. That's really what happens. Yeah. When something doesn't go your way, you ask why. And sometimes you'll ask why to the point where you figure out a way that it doesn't happen again.
Makes sense, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all think, see, this stuff is deep. Oh, yeah, please.
Would you say that's the overall theme of the entire mixtape, like the Baja music? Do you say that's the overall theme? Because there's a couple other songs in there. There's some fun ones on there.
That was those were just personal experiences as well. Dang, I burped. Oh, here we go. Another burp. Another burp on the slash.
Another burp on the slash.
Right. I was trying not to do it, but those were, again, that was just how I felt. Or how I know other people feel. There's one song about relationships. There's another song of that was just mine personally. It was this Tribe Called Rex. And
I forgot about that song.
Remember that? Not many people liked it because because I really didn't tailor that one for the people. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like, if you liked it, cool. If you didn't, cool. But that one was really for me. Yeah. Like, just looking at searching for the right one, waiting on the right time. Like, I'm just talking about just the steps that we all go through in order to get where we want to be. Okay. So that's why I had to put in the hook, if you try, you'll find. Don't ask why in due time. Because I know my season of overflow is going to come. I know my season where it's time for me to be where I want to be. I know it's going to be my season where, my hater's going to be my footstool. So that's why I was like, nobody really liked it. It's fine. I didn't expect you guys to.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to come from, because I think a lot of people get too caught up in that aspect of it.
Right, was why everybody sounded the same.
Do they like it? Do they like it? But at the end of the day, I mean, one, you're making it for you, because obviously that's how you feel. But then two, obviously you're making it for whoever's going to connect with that to connect with it. It's not going to be for everybody.
Right.
And I think a lot of people who come out with stuff, whether it's music, art, whatever, they want it to be for everyone, which is never going to be the case. Not everyone's going to be into whatever you put out there. So I think that's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
That's good. Sip that John.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's cool. So, I mean, that's the theme. So where does the Baja come into play? Because obviously the cover is the Baja. So where does the Baja come into play? Because I think
right.
Just looking at from like a outside viewer from the top, it doesn't look like a Baja would deal with whatever theme you're setting. So where did the Bajas come in?
Right. Well, shout out to my boy right here, K to the O Jr. He actually made the cover of my first mixtape, Baja Music. So
you're welcome.
Cue clap noise.
I'll add that in there.
Right. Oh, that'll be dope. But yeah, so he made that, and that was because, again, this was when me and my boy Saucy Steve, aka DJ Ignaro, was just linking, and we were just another burp.
Stop burping,
rebuke the burps, people. Rebuke them. But yeah, me and DJ Ignaro were in the studio, and at the time it was in his basement. Full equipment. We was grooving, but it was because it's a basement. It was like an unfinished one, so it was cold. Mm-hmm. So we would have to wear our Bajas. I mean, that was just something me and him already had. Yeah. But we didn't know each other had. It was just, I came through in the crib one day. He had his one. So, oh, you wear Baja? He was like, yeah, man. I was like, oh, all right, cool. So we always would wear the Bajas. It would be cold down there. And then it was like, yo, we would just be grooving down there for hours. Like, our sessions would last for like at least at minimum 4 hours. Mm-hmm. And that's just us down there creating. And then playing with concepts and be like, all right, let's do this. But yeah, we always wore Bajas down there because it was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was it. And then it was like, the music was just, the vibe it was comfortable. Like when you wear the Baja, it's comfortable. Like where that comes from is just that type of area where it's just the breeze and the sun. You know what I'm saying? It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just comfortable. Mm-hmm. And that's how we wanted to portray that mix. It was like, it's just comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I'm comfortable being myself. Regardless of what you think of me.
Always a deeper meaning behind your
See? What? What? Right.
Always a deeper meaning.
Simple ones. It's layers. Onions have layers.
Layers. Layers. That's good. So and now we're moving forward in time here. So you made the song. You dropped the mixtape.
Yeah.
Now, what is happening in that span of time? So, because you said that was 2015. Now we're at 2019. Yeah. So, what is happening? Yeah. You haven't released another project, and you did release a single. We'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But, like, what's going on in that period of time? Like, music-wise, your life? Like, what did it start to look like after that? Like, what are you working on after that first mixtape?
Yeah. So, once the mixtape was released, it was out there. Universe was doing what it did with it. And people were receptive, and after a while, it was building views, building listens and things like that. So then I had, it built up enough energy to where people were reaching out to me to perform. So I was getting ready to perform, and then, certain stuff would keep getting in the way, or my body was just messing up. I was feeling like something was off. I knew something was off, but, being a man, you just... I gotta keep working. Mm-hmm. Gotta pay the mortgage. Just keep going.
There it is.
Right. Gotta pay the mortgage. Because they will call if you don't pay it on the first. Jesus. But yeah, anyway.
What the heck was that? Did you get a flashback?
Right, yeah, look. Just flashbacks. But yeah, so it got to the point where I noticed that just my body was off. So then when I went into the hospital, they were like, yeah, something's wrong with you. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, something's like, because I noticed certain stuff about me, but I didn't pay it any mind. I just kept going. That's just the mindset I have. All right, I know this is wrong, but I gotta keep going. Yeah, I gotta keep going. Can't stop. The goal hasn't been reached yet.
Yeah.
So I got to the hospital, and they taking blood. They saying that My blood levels was all off. I was probably like a few points away from getting a blood transfusion, which was crazy. My vitamin, like every type of vitamin that the body has, all mine was low today. I was like a zombie.
Yeah.
You know, but I knew it was just the grace of God that got me to that point. But found out that they diagnosed me with Crohn's disease.
Okay.
And that's basically just an autoimmune disease of your stomach where when you eat, you don't get the right nutrients from the food, and then your body is malnourished. And there's basically an inflammatory disease. So if that portion isn't dealt with, like anything, it'll just spread. Yeah. If you don't contain something in the beginning, it just keeps spreading. So it got to the point where it was all, everything was off. Yeah.
So what's going through your mind at this point? Like that's a pretty big deal.
Honestly, what was going through my mind was like, God, really?
Mm-hmm. Like, why?
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Come on. I
did it. I caught on. Right. There you go.
Did you get it?
Did you get it?
But yeah, again, eternal question. Why?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just sitting there in the hospital bed and it's like, yo. I'm looking around. I'm like, what the heck? This is... And this is the ironic part. I work in hospitals.
Yeah.
I work in hospitals. Now I'm sitting in one.
Mm-hmm.
So that irony is on top of that. I'm like, so all the equipment I fixed was then being used on me.
Yeah.
Then that hit.
So full circle, man.
Right. So stuff, and I'm like, things are coming full circle, but not in my way.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at that time. So, yeah, they diagnosed me with that, and then I was out. That was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
6 months was on disability from work. 6 months.
And I see what you were up to.
Right.
I can see what you were up to.
Look, I'm telling you, because it got to the point where I had to just get myself together. I'm like, Dad, you know what? This isn't it.
Yeah.
This isn't it. And I sat down. I was like, all right, God, what did you want me to get from this? And I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Okay.
Then body started to get better. Levels started to come down. All the pain was starting to minimize.
Mm-hmm.
Treatments were starting to work. So I'm like, oh, okay. This is the faith that you wanted me to have.
Yeah.
I get it now. That type of faith. Where every report is saying you have X, Y, and Z. The God is saying, no, that's not it. Don't use your eyesight, use your insight.
Yeah.
Use what I put in you. Because where you want to go and where I'm calling you to be is going to require that type of faith.
Yeah.
To say, I don't care what the report says. God, I know what you told me.
You're clearly big in your faith. You've said a lot. You've said a lot
Look,
in this little bit of time. So you're clearly big in your faith.
You gotta be,
and
man.
we can probably touch on that for a while.
Oh, that could be a series.
Yeah.
That could be a series. But yeah, that's what got me to this point. Because I was on disability and I was like, you know what? All right, I get it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing stuff, learning how to increase myself. You know what I'm saying? As far as invest in myself.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to make beats. Because I make lyrics. And I was like, you know what? Let me learn how to make beats. Just so I can invest in myself. And even when I link up with my homies, I can speak that language and say, push this. I want it sounding like this.
Yeah, you can have that
understanding. Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be that much more better. So then I bought a interface. Then I learned the program.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. Then I bought a mic. I was like, all right, now I'm playing around. All right. Then I bought a MIDI. I was like, okay, I guess it's the beat pad. All right.
Yeah.
Then I bought some speakers. I was like, all right. Then I bought a mic stand.
How are you buying all this?
Exactly.
And you didn't say anything about it, but you say you were on disability for 6 months. So how are you buying that stuff? Like, just
it was
chilling?
Literally weeks in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. And certain also people just, looked out on certain stuff too.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, okay, so this is working out. But even still, it wasn't still that much. Because with disability, man, this thing is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it'll go down to like, you'll get a check for $300 and you owe Sally Mae $200. What? 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 That's why I was like, all right, Lord, this is faith. Look.
Yeah, right.
Look, Sally Mae, you ain't gonna get it this week. Sorry, sweetie. Look, no more extortion. I can't make the payment. You won't go
$50
$50
million.
Right. You got right. Yep. So it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's really piece by piece.
Yeah.
Piece by piece.
I get it.
And that's just not even in the 6-month span that I was. You know what I'm saying? I had started working again, and then I got some more stuff.
Yeah. But
that's what I was saying. That was just that span of me. All right, I'm keeping investing. Mm-hmm. I made sure I could master one thing before I had another. I was like, all right, Jorrel, you worthy for the speakers now. All right, you worthy for the mic stand now. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're right. You got your concepts down. Like when I first bought the program, I'll have my notebook and I would just date each day the time I would spend on it. Mm-hmm. All right, learn how to do this. Understood what compressor was. Okay, understood how to balance the E. I was like, okay, I know which levels it needs to be at in order for the lag to, you know what I'm saying, not really mess with the song. I was like, oh, okay. And I would keep writing it down, and I would keep flipping back to say, oh yeah, that's how I want it to sound. Then it got to the point where it was just so I didn't have to look back in the book anymore. Yeah, it was just up here. And then at the point I just kind of stopped writing in it because now I've done it so much, it's muscle memory. So now I don't write. I don't write. It's just like, oh, okay. And I know it's like the more you invest in yourself and the more time you spend with something, the better you're going to get.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Everybody started from somewhere. Yeah. Please. Nobody was born with it all. Surprise.
So being an artist in Philadelphia or just being an artist in general, like obviously my own research on you and knowing you for a while, you're pretty non-existent on the social media front. And I feel like that's the avenue a lot of people are using, or kind of what you have to use to get known. Is that like something you're trying to make happen? Do you want to get known, or are you just kind of making this for the people who are like close to you, you know, who are going to listen, who are doing all that? Like, what's your goals behind this? Because I don't see you post anything about music until you actually dropped something, which came to like the Cool Like That thing.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
you weren't. Shut up.
On all digital platforms, like that. Produced by my man DJ Ignaro, Saucy Steve, like that.
Saucy Steve.
But
yeah, you're non-existent on social media. So how do you make it?
No shade, non-existent. But I got a couple hundred.
Yeah,
but I know.
Not follower front, but like you posting front.
Posting front, right? Posting's lacking. Yeah, I know. Honestly, man, it's I've never been that type of social media dude. I understand that's just the age we live in, but I feel as though the more I expose myself, the more people will want to see. So as long as I'm continually investing in myself, all it takes is one person to believe in you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because a prime example. Think about how many followers you have to someone that has more followers than you. They got way more followers than you, but they ain't never been on TV like you have. Think about it. You've been on TV. You've been on the news. You know, right?
That was not
right. What'd you say? Right?
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's where God positioned you.
Yeah.
So, of course, the followers are going to come. But again, it's the faith. Mm-hmm. It's outweighing that. Because a person can have, again, I'm not knocking people who have followers, of course, because I it's cool to have them. Yeah. You know, it helps with the worldly view of how do you get people. But if I have that one person's attention, say, all right, I believe in you. Come on. Yeah. Or it may not even come from a person. I'll just be in that right position. Mm-hmm. And God will just elevate me to where I want to be. Okay. Think about how many people get on that don't even have social media following. The Yodel boy, like, remember him?
Me,
you know what I mean? No.
Yeah, no one really.
Where he at?
Yeah.
Coachella. Come on, you know all the stuff.
I don't know. I didn't keep up with the Yodel boy. I'm sorry. I think I was one of the people who
festivals. You festival man. You know
okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
It can happen. If you like, seriously, you could focus on that. It like don't make no please. People like focusing on 400K followers but don't have a 401K. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm making sure other things are stable. Like the followers won't come.
Yeah.
Followers come. Seriously, followers come, and the right people following you.
Exactly. I think that's the main
people.
point. If you got people who actually follow you,
exactly,
instead of just being a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can pay for robots and all that stuff.
Right.
So, like,
come on.
A lot of this stuff you can't.
Machines. Like, come on. Boy, you know it. Come on, bro.
I get it in that aspect.
But I mean, ideally, of course, the social media presence, it does help. People can benefit. People have benefited from it.
Yeah.
But that's not my last resort.
Okay.
In my mind, that's my way of doing things. That aspect will come.
It sounds like you kind of want to do more of like a word of mouth type thing. So like, say you release something,
fastest way.
The people who got you, they gonna start talking about it, and they talk about it to other people instead of just like posting on social media and hopefully everybody like looks at it.
Exactly.
And blows it up. I get it.
Exactly. Word of mouth.
Makes sense.
Think about all the restaurants you went to. Oh, they cheesesteak dumplings is all that. You gotta go there.
And then you wind up going to the.
Oh, they got the best drinks. Word of mouth.
That's true. I think that's.
If it comes from a trusted source,
the original way of doing it. OG.
Come on, right? Come on. What'd you say?
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Keith. Oh my god. All right, so that kind of brings us to the single that you kind of just dropped.
Yeah.
Not kinda, that you actually dropped.
Right. Right.
So cool like that. So where did that get started? Because I know that this damn single, it was in the works for a while before we actually got to it. So let's dissect cool like that. Let's talk about that. How'd that get started? Did you work with the same people? You work with the same people, right?
No. It was a different time at that era. I was like, all right, but that didn't pan out. So I just held on to it. I was like, all right, well, I guess this one not going to pan out. Because that happens. You work with some people, it doesn't work out, whatever. Things happen. So, but then after I went through what I went through, I'm like, all right, I'm going to release everything just that I have. I'm not wasting it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that, you heard that some other people, and it wasn't even finished. Like, I had like 3-4 bars of it. It was just
I was bumping that one verse for the longest time.
Right. I was like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this one was for the people. It was just for me just to get it out. I'm like, you know what? All right.
It's a fun track. I like it. That's a summer hit.
Yeah.
That's a summer hit.
Summer hit, yeah, man. And sure enough, things happen for a reason, and I released it when I released it, and it's been doing very good.
A man who wears Dockers on his waist, Sperry's on his feet.
Mm-hmm. What else?
And Victor on the wrist.
Come on, what else? You better...
Where's the organ?
Right. Throw my drink.
That's cool. Me personally, I know that's my favorite song, so I think a lot of people were talking about that song, so that's a good one.
Yeah, no, man, it has been doing very well. Bless you all for the streams, for the purchases.
It's everywhere.
It is. All digital platforms like that.
What?
I don't know.
For the audio listeners, you couldn't tell. Right. But this man loves looking at the camera for his statements.
Right.
So that's where that silence comes in.
Looking to the souls of people, Mike. That's what I do,
All right, so that's cool. So cool. Like that. So actually going backwards, you made a couple. No, you made one music video. We didn't talk about your music video yet. What song? The music video was for.
I made a music video for a track which was on Baja Music Goes On, and that was just me, again, expressing myself, telling people what I've been through.
A little love story in that.
Right, had to. I got it all out.
Oh no, that wasn't the love story one.
That's
you made a music video for
what?
That's
come on, catalog coming up.
That's right.
Catalog coming up. Keep up. Come on.
That's right. Okay, that's right.
Keep up.
That was a good one. So explain to how that video went, and then we can obviously I'll put the links in the show notes and all that stuff. So But like, explain the video, because obviously for the people who haven't seen the video, which will probably be most of the people listening, but they haven't seen the video. So explain the premise of that video, the meaning behind the song, all that stuff.
For Goes On.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So Goes On is basically the hook is even the road's hard. I'm gonna soar far. Life still goes on. Good days are upon. And that's just me encouraging myself, saying, "All right, this is where you're at right now. You know, this is only a season." You know, it's coming in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's coming in the morning. So even the road's hard, I'm gonna soar. You know what I mean? And then I go into what kind of molded me as a person. Growing up, man, I see some things. The immigration coming, man, they ain't need to explain why they want to throw my, you know what I'm saying? Mama held it down, 2 jobs, 3 kids. Yeah, you always, come on. Come on. Y'all better stop playing with me. This stuff is crazy. No, but yeah, it was just me explaining what I've been through and how I overcame it. Mm-hmm. So that was Goes On. That's why the name is Goes On, because life is going to go on, with or without you. So you can either take control of it or just be along for the ride. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then the next one was Love. That was just, that was wild. And it's funny because sometimes people are like, oh yeah, someone else has a song called that. Well, yeah, everyone experiences the emotions. Exactly. Everyone experiences that. So it's like you can't help to have a song called the same thing as someone else did. Yeah. Because you're calling it the same thing, but you're expressing it
exactly. That's what I was going to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that meaning is different for everyone else who makes that their title. So the whole thing with somebody already has a title. There's no these songs that are out that all have the same title. Right. Like it's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah. That one was just like again a relationship John, where it was just like people could be like you need to love. Everybody wants love in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Love is key in a relationship. Everybody wants it. Yeah. I was like, let me just make a song about it. Because that's what, that's what people need. Mm-hmm. People need love. That's why I made a song about love. We in the city of what? Brotherly love.
Can I say
bars? Come on, see? See that? Boys, see my stuff be. Dude. That's what I'm trying to get at, people. See that? Come on. See that? Come on. Made a song called Love in the City of Brotherly Love. Intentional.
Bars!
Right. Did you get it? Did you get it? Intentional, man. Intentional. I just don't say it. It's intentional.
I mean, so what would you say is the hardest part? Like balancing the full-time job, doing music, and just the hardest part, just doing music in general. Like, what's the hardest part?
Well, at this stage, you're still, the slash isn't paying the bills yet. Keyword.
Yet.
Remember
that. Remember the beginnings.
Right. Exponential. Right. But yeah, it doesn't, do that yet.
Yeah.
So I think with anybody slash, you just have to make sure you don't get caught up in the major thing that's funding the slash to get you to where the slash is funding your whole life. Mm-hmm. So it's finding that balance. Because you can get lost in both and neglect something else that's important.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's still continue to finding that balance until you can just focus on the slash.
Yeah. And I think that's everyone's goal. That's obviously your goal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then at that point, my slash will be my career, and then my slash will be what I do in the meantime from not making music. Y'all, my God.
Talk to him.
St. Raven's in the house.
Oh, here we go.
St. Raven's the true worship members in the house.
Talk to him now. Go on now. Right. That's cool. So we're kind of winding down, but I do have a couple more questions. So
yeah,
you obviously talked about the hardest part. You talked about your mixtapes. Talked about your songs. So like, what's coming up next for you? What are you working on right now? Kind of, what do you want to work on in the future, like with music, making beats, and all that stuff?
Yeah. Right now, I'm working on the album. The album should be coming out soon.
Yeah, don't get.
I ain't gonna get a date.
You're not allowed to give dates.
Right, right.
You know.
Right. Look, I operate at different time. Time is relative, man.
Yeah, it's all relative, man.
It's all relative, man. But again, that's why I put that little Easter egg in like that, which is on all digital platforms. I say, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I feel like you're fucking quoting the whole song. Let people listen to it. Damn, it's alright.
See that? He's encouraging you to get the song. But yeah, so the album is definitely next. I'm back in the studio.
Cool.
But, boy, Saucy Steve again.
Saucy Steve, man.
Saucy,
holding it down.
He holding it down, man. He's doing his thing, man. And it's not like we're not just friends because of music. We're friends because we're friends.
Yeah, you guys look like you have a good time. From when you actually do post on social media,
right.
When I see a story,
right?
Y'all
it's
really
popping.
y'all
See,
really getting it
that's
going
what I'm saying.
Got the lights going,
right? People that follow me know it goes down.
Yeah,
people know. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's Saucy Steve, man. DJ Ignore. We'll be doing the Orange Room Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them. But yeah, we really we doing this thing.
Cool. And you've been a man of all the inspiration. Obviously, today you've got a lot of quotable
right.
terms in this episode.
Hashtags.
But so, what's your advice to people who are trying to get their thing started? I kind of ask everybody this, but I'm interested to know like what your advice is for people just trying to get anything started.
For those of you who are trying to get stuff started, I would say don't let other people's opinion of you determine your success. Because people are going to like you, they're going to hate you. It's going to happen. People hated on Jesus and he was perfect.
I was waiting for that.
You know what's coming. You know me. Right. I'll bring it back. I'll just be me. You know what I mean? Like, please. Everybody not always going to like you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to always like everybody. So, don't let them stop you from doing that idea. Don't let somebody stop you because they're like, oh, you sure you could do that? Are you... You know what I mean? Don't allow people to put negativity into something you're trying to birth. You know what I mean? Please.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Like that.
Like that.
Like that.
So obviously we have a bunch of equipment here, and you said you bought it and stuff. So I'm gonna put you on the spot on Slash the podcast here. God. I'm gonna put Rex the artist on the spot if he's up for it. He got all the equipment here for it, so he obviously cooking stuff up. But just funny. Like the good old days, I do my notebook. I need to hear a freestyle on Slash the podcast. It's the first freestyle.
Okay.
First little performance for Slash podcast. You got that? You got one for me? You gonna give me one or what?
I go tough for you. All right, I got you.
Right.
Let's see what you chose.
Everybody know Sway, you ain't got nothing. No,
right.
I like watching Sway.
Right. Shout out to them.
Funk Flex too. Y'all be
we on the Slash though.
You gotta have bars. Gotta have bars.
Gotta have them. Let's see.
I want to hear something. Let's go. What you gonna?
Let me see.
Cook something up.
What you got? What you? Oh, you chose. Okay. What'd you say?
First time right here. Let's go.
Yeah. Should we call him RTA or should we call him Rex the artist? Every time that these bars go out, rigor mortis. I don't like dead people. I went to heaven and talked to God, said it was nice to meet me. I turned around and told Satan me and him was through. Hey yo, the boy been blessed. Nickname. Too many weirdos in the game. Like Tu Wong Fu. I get paid for every show. That's paper. Man, I really don't like even doing interviews. I just rather make music. So we'll start the interlude and sit back and relax. Let me state some facts. I was born a Gemini. Yeah, check the zodiac. Man, enough about me. Let's talk about y'all. Why y'all always sitting around to see RTA fall? You raise your hand for a fight, but not for the truth. Snitches get stitches and the righteous get the noose. What kind of world is this? I want to ball my fists and shove it right in the air. Yeah, it's time to persevere. Depression is a sign of mental warfare. Yelling on the insides, but nobody can hear. Nobody can hear. Nobody can hear. Depression is a sign of mental warfare. Yelling on the inside, but nobody can hear. Something like Dr. Phil, I'm just spitting all facts. Catch me outside, boy. How about that? Man, I always been the leader. I never did what they did. Light-skinned hero like the Cherokee Kid. Uptown is where I live. I want 5 kids. I always sip my vape. I never ever hit the 6. Everybody wanted to know me, but I'm staying out the news. I got the golden foot like I'm Duncan Penderhughes. When I step up in the room, nobody make a sound. I'm walking through the streets like my name was Blade Brown. Some say I'm a beast. Some say they proud of me. No, I ain't tripping. That's my animality. They're calling me a prodigy, your ultimate commodity. Oh man, it feels good to be home. Different colors in my knuckles, that's infinity stones. They used to laugh at my bars, now they see that I'm on. Middle finger to you haters, one snapping you gone. Come on! Stop playing with me.
The Mortal Kombat reference is amazing. I love it.
Did you get it?
Animality.
Did you get it?
If you haven't watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation, you don't get it.
You don't get it.
That was good. That was good.
Okay.
Yo, shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. That was cool. Way to bring it back.
Yeah, man, I had to.
I like
Appreciate
that.
it. Appreciate the opportunity, sir.
Yeah, thanks for doing the interview, man. This was cool. Jorrel Nugent, a.k.a. Rex the Artist.
Yeah.
Don't get it confused. All Like That is out there on all streams. Please check it out. One of my favorite songs, actually my favorite song that he's ever made. We've got stuff coming up soon, so this has been a pleasure. It's been fun. One of my best friends here. He's the man. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
You can follow me.
You don't use it. He don't use it. I mean, you can follow it.
Right.
You already heard you don't care about his followers, but we're gonna try it anyway.
If you would like to keep up with what's going on, so when your friends say, "Did you hear what Rex did?" you'll know what happened. So you can follow me at Rex the Artist on all digital platforms and social media. Yeah.
There we go.
Thanks again for having me, man.
No problem. You can follow me on the /pod on Instagram, and you can type on /pod.com. You can follow me at K to the O Junior as usual on Instagram. We'll have all the links up and on the video and in the audio.
Right.
This has been great again. Thank you for bringing me in. Oh my goodness. Right. It's been great. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I'm liquored up. Okay, give me some more.
Okay.
But this has been fun. Thank you. Thanks everybody for watching as usual. Follow, review, write a comment, do whatever you got to do for support the podcast, support Rex the Artist.
Yeah.
This has been a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for coming out, man. Thanks for the freestyle, the first freestyle ever on the podcast.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to go? You want to close this out or what? Give me one more quote to close us out.
You sure?
You sure?
Love yourself. Was that cool? Did you get it?